Clickbait.
Okay, I've got the headline. Pedro Pascal joins Wonder Woman 2.
No, you gotta tickle their balls a little bit.
Okay. Game of Thrones actor joins Wonder Woman. Superhero film?
Tickle them more.
Actor joins film?
How about this? You won't believe actor joins film.
Why wouldn't they believe an actor would join a film?
Wait. You won't believe.
You won't believe?
Clickbait. We all know what it is, right? Some title that makes you click on something, and then you find out that the article actually has no relevance to the thing you clicked on. So if you click on this title inside Kamala Harris' mini real estate empire, and you want to find out how she's truly massively wealthy and a slumlord, you'd be disappointed because she has a whole 3 homes across the entire U.S., and they're not even that expensive. The richest one being $5 million. The one she has in San Francisco is not very fancy. She doesn't rent them out, so I'm not clear how this could be considered a real estate empire. It's like if I told you that Jay Leno is creating an exclusive dealership. See, here's his dealership, and then you realize, wait a minute, this is Jay Leno. He has a huge car collection. He doesn't need money, so he's actually not going to sell them. So no, this is actually not a dealership for old exotic cars. This is just Jay Leno's garage. Some websites like TMZ are well known for clickbait. Large font, lots of pictures, no actual substance if you click on any of the articles. But what do you think this is? You know how ProZD was joking when he said some links say absolutely nothing? This says, Matthew Herron, award-winning civil rights photojournalist. Okay. So he exists? There's no verb here. What is this about? Well, if I had to guess, I'd say he died, and that's why they're announcing it, his death. And that's why they need to see an award-winning civil rights photojournalist to commemorate him, and also because he's not famous enough by himself. See, when Kobe Bryant died, you didn't need to say more than 3 words. Kobe is dead. Not even a last name is necessary. And that's the problem with clickbait. Many times you just scan the headline, see what information you picked up from today's serving of the news. You believe what is written, but you may also encounter headlines that are misleading and wrong, like this New York Times one I discussed yesterday. So you're filling your mind up with misinformation. My brother told me he doesn't read the news because it just makes you upset, and I agree. News mainly serves to rile people up to create emotion in them, but is it good not to read the news either? If you look, apparently my brother's not the only one out there, though. There are many people who avoid reading the news. One person investigated New York Times' usage of clickbait titles. On the right, it's the clickbait titles where they don't give you much information. And then the left, it's the real title. Look. He wrote, "Kill a woman. He kept his guns." What? That's ridiculous. Then you read, "He wrote, I'll kill woman, but a judge returned his guns." Oh, okay. Nothing new here. It's just some judge making a decision. So the New York Times actually has something to say about clickbait. An editor wrote this, that, a reader complained about these 2 examples. This beautiful parasitic bird could soon turn up in your yard. And what cookies and meth have in common. The reader said it's clickbait because it doesn't summarize the article. She said it should allow the reader to judge whether or not she wants to read a story. But the editor responded that a headline doesn't have to summarize. It just has to get you to read a story and be true to the story. And so if those headlines are not inconsistent with the story, then it's fine. The only rule is that the reader shouldn't feel cheated at the end. But I feel that's a bar set way too low. If you look at any news site, it's basically impossible to read all the articles. You simply don't even have time to read them. You skim the headlines, choose what you will read. But if it's a source you trust, you believe the headlines. Even though most of the information is not present in headlines, you can't actually determine whether it's correct or not. You just automatically believe it. Because you're lazy. We just assume stuff is correct until proven otherwise. The world is not the same place as it was a decade ago. And it's even more radically different place than it was 20 years ago when this author started at the New York Times. People used to get their information from books. Reading a magazine was a cop-out, was when you're lazy, when you just wanted a quick fix. Now people who are well-read get their information from magazines like The Economist. Who reads books anymore? Economist is better than just reading some blogger online. People get less and less information for making decisions that are more and more important. Do you know what this is? You've probably seen one of these before. It's a prescription insert. It comes with every single medication. This one is for Lipitor, one of the most commonly prescribed medications in the USA. It's for cholesterol. We often use it for strokes, heart attacks, etc. It comes with every single bottle. Who reads this? Clickbait is bad. It rots your brain, destroys your thinking capabilities because you fill your mind with little snippets called headlines that may or may not be correct, though you'll never know whether or not they're correct because you don't have time to actually read the articles and investigate. And then you try to make decisions based on all this hearsay information and you think it's gonna come out well? No matter what the New York Times says, clickbait is not a good thing. And given we cannot change the way news organizations publish, all we can do is process less information, read less headlines, actually spend more time reading the articles and looking into them. Thinking back to my field, would you rather have a doctor who spends a lot of time with you? He goes into depth about your diagnosis. He works with you on customizing a treatment plan so that you could tolerate it. Or would you rather see 20 doctors and get 1 minute each with all of them? Of course, you want the doctor who spends a long time with you. Quality time, right? It's not about quantity, which is just headlines and clickbait.